We have been told by tradition and culture that men are the head of the home. Is a lie. As a matter of fact, the man is the bottom of the home. The man is the foundation of the home. You see, when you see beautiful structures, people will stay at the sit-out, they will snap pictures. They will be at the garden at the back, they will snap pictures. They put it on Facebook. They show it to everybody. And everybody celebrate different part of the house. But the foundation that is carrying all the different part of the home is not seen. It's not celebrated. It's not honored. It's not announced. Yet it remained there to keep carrying every part of the home. That is who a responsible man is. It's not seen. It's not celebrated. It stays there. And yet it's the one that makes every other thing to happen. Help me celebrate these foundations. So as a man, keep taking care of your family. You don't need to be seen. As a man, remain the foundation. Don't announce it. I've been paying the rent. Nobody is thanking me. No, it's your responsibility. Because you are the foundation. You now see why I said you are not the head. That you are the bottom. See it as a privilege that you are sharing responsibility with Jehovah to be the sustainer of your family. There is need for me to quickly explain the story of a man in the Bible who did not show himself, was walking behind the scene, and yet made everything happen in the Bible. They call his name Joseph the carpenter. So this morning I'm talking about real men. What does real men do? Using the case study Matthew chapter 2 verse 13 to 15.
Matthieu 2 verset 13 à 15.
And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in the dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night, and departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son. Most of the times when we talk about Jesus, we easily mention Mary, because Mary, as it were, is at the forefront. But without Joseph, there is no Mary. It was not only Mary that partnered with God. As a matter of fact, Joseph partnered more with God than Mary. Let's quickly look at the things he did that could make us qualify him for a real man. Number one, when Mary was pregnant, in quote, with a bastard, he was aware And yet,
Voix.
he covered her shame.
Et ça nous tue un bandit.
He covered her shame.
Tu as un bandit.
He did not expose her to the world.
Mais de goba mon peur.
He did not allow people to ridicule her.
Mais tati ba mon di peur.
And if you understand Jewish culture,
Non, c'est you that top de kono.
they celebrate so much virginity in those days.
Et you no need de tu la peur tourner de ji à
That if you marry
non de soin.
and your husband sleep with you
Et son don
and there is no blood,
et quoi ba malewa.
he will return you back to your father
Elle a trouvé le temps
and they will give him back the dowry.
et you la fait la sonner.
It was as serious as
Et
that.
fait nana.
You have to carry the white clothes
Relation au here.
that the blood of virginity dropped on.
Que y top ba ni de tu la peur ko de ba ko ne.
Not to now talk of being pregnant.
Il va pour fofu.
If they were against the issue of sleeping around at all,
Non, ti te ba no don mo
how do you think they will now see pregnancy without knowing the father of the pregnant?
nous ko la ko be la jona me fofu ke toma la ne fo.
Are you getting the picture?
On parle de gens.
Such a person will be ostracized,
Les ba be la wu yo la so konin.
if not even stoned to death.
To fo de ma poto ba ko.
And Joseph
Ba Joseph.
covered.
Et son jo mari, son jo.
The mere fact that she disappointed you,
To fo de be de ji le pona wa.
she broke your heart,
E bandino.
is enough for you to push her out
E soa tututo.
and let her be disgraced.
E ya tati no do gba le yenu.
But because he's a real
E
man,
la ba nu sun ton to ba nya.
he said, your shame is my
E
shame.
ba ka onye ba nkwa.
Your pain is my pain.
Fa se onye ba.
Your mockery is my
Le
mockery.
du fondo e.
I will cover your shame.
Ma so nu ton pon wa.
We men are guilty of this.
Mia no so pata fo mo le bi.
How much of the shame of your wife have you covered?
De en pande no chone so o. Pande no chone o. Be pande no chon.
Are you here today?
Olivia.
How much of the shame of your wife have you covered?
E mi aso be pande ne ke mi so no chon.
All we do
Nu si an ke mi ona.
is to broadcast it.
E be mi akpole nya kakare.
She has done this.
Ewe.
She has done
Ewe
that.
ya.
You were sent to her
O don mi do da nyu nu akoy.
to cover her
Le mi
shame.
aso no chon nu ba nkpan.
You are not perfect.
Mi de bilbo.
The Bible said we should remember that women are weaker vessels.
Bibla ba mi adun ke be nyu nu nya ma gbojo e.
If he said they are weaker,
No bo nya ma gbojo
that
e.
is comparative analysis.
E le fi be nu me mi asuro me ko mi akwo me ko.
He is simply saying
E le gbo ko be.
weak,
Gbojo.
weaker,
Ba gbojo pe.
weakest.
Ba gbojo keke.
So he's saying,
E le gbo ko be.
you,
Ewo.
you,
Ewo nu so a.
you are weak.
Onya me gbojo.
You have flaws,
E be odo bamba.
plenty of it.
Bamba pe gbogbo ne.
Your wife
Esro.
is weaker,
E akpojo.
and your children
Evio.
are the weakest.
O ba akpojo.
So if you are not perfect,
No be debilbo wa.
why should you expect your wife to be?
Ko le to te ko be sro no debilbo ma.
Hey, she talk too much.
E pona bojo.
She's a troublemaker.
E o na tukara to.
God knows,
Ma onya.
but God expects you
Ma o le to te ko so mi agbo.
to cover her
Be mi
nakedness.
a chon be ba mama.
Not that you are the one that will announce it to everybody,
Ola ko le se onya. O na tukara.
and you will tell your family members.
La ko le po me to pata.
You may forgive her
Ola ti so kelo.
and forget it.
E o la ngro be e wo nu so a.
They will not forgive her and forget
Wa
it.
po me to ma ngro be la so kelo.
Forever,
So ma vol.
they will use it
Ola mo se be sia be.
against her.
Aso ti tere nyu no nti.
Number two,
Evelia.
we could see that this man took care of the child who was not his own biological child.
Akpo ekpo de bia ti nyu de ni ke be nyen to be fi to ko so ere ko nchim.
That is what real men do.
Sun ton to na wo.
You see, sometimes you may have plenty children.
Gari ma vi gere la na shi o.
My prayer is that your children will have mercy on you and they will not forget you.
Nye gbe da to bo e vi o no to adomo de nti o no mo ba ngro be o.
But sorry to also tell you,
Ta flash ma ngro no se ka
they
sia.
may forget.
Ola te ngro be o. Ya to bo la te ngro be o.
So if all your investment
ne papa wo pata
is on your children alone,
efi o ka ko pre
and if they now choose to forget,
ne o ba o chacha wo be ya
who else will remember you
me kala ba do ko
at old age
le petit
when you don't have strength again?
ke o ba do si ne vi o de kaji ko pana nu le eye petit mo mo be wa de me ka ba la honare le petit me ma
Who has eaten your food
me ka du
apart from your family members?
to fo ne pometo
Who has worn your clothes
me ka dawo
apart from your family
to fo ne
members?
pometo
This evil trinity of I, me, and myself,
e ya bonbon fo ya ba nye ko
you will suffer the consequence.
ola do ya me ko
So don't just do for your children
ma o ne vi o kara ko
and your family members. Help others because you don't know.
o munyo
Did you hear what the Bible says? It said, cast your bread upon many waters.
e be so abolo dare sikere ti si
He said, after so many days,
de kekegede o
it
me
will return back to you.
And
And you don't even know which one will return back.
o munye ke la troba le me
Number 3.
e tolia
He risked his life by running with the child to Egypt.
e do ko do afoku mo be sibro le ye Egypt imagine
Joseph should be celebrated too much.
Joseph do la tore di ale gobe no bio
He left his business.
e tache ba jo
He left what he's familiar with.
e lu ke be ma do
He left his personal plan.
e tache to be dodo
And he put all his life online for a, in quote, a bastard, illegitimate child.
e suero ko so da afoku mo suero ko pata so na ne de bi ke gbo me bia
Now I will explain this in different ways.
ma de gobe mo fo jino
He knew that if he stayed in that environment,
e jamani no te pe wo
the child will
e
be.
bia la ku
The destiny of your children will be killed if you stay in some environment.
e vi o be so na ku no te pe lo
But you now,
ma ni ku vi bia
which one is your business?
e ke kan ya le mo
You come to church, you leave your children at home.
wala wa so ya ku vi la o me fa
They are with friends that smoke, it doesn't
wala
concern
ko
you.
ko yo si jamo na ke na o
As a matter of fact, when people come to your own house,
na mo ba po mo
you
no
give them money to go and buy alcohol for the
wala
people.
so ka mo ba ja hase ba na me
You say, I'm not drinking,
na ni mu no
but I have to give anybody whatever they want.
wa mere ke ba ko nke le ja ma
So
je
the child will taste the remaining that is left inside
ni de ke cha
the.
tu ko me ni la do si ko
And you see, there is a law, the law of multiplication,
e se ke ti jire je na
that says that you cannot solve problem at the level at which you create
ku
it.
yo ma te jere ko 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 wele
It's a law.
e se be
The law says anything you sow
ni se ko pa
must return back to you multiplied,
e la troba la pa so so
whether positive
noy
or
alo
negative.
ke gbele
You put mango in the soil,
e so mango do ani ba
it
me
becomes a mango tree.
Ela su mango
The mango tree
mango ba ti ya
can produce
e la se sin
tens of thousands of seeds.
gbogbo re ape
And from the seed,
To
some
cool.
will go back to the soil and become tree again. So when you see forest, sometimes when you are traveling,
no ko afesuru le si sa
like an usher, forest where they are lost of a particular set of fruits.
e o la pati ku se ne kapo me vi o pata
Sometimes it is just one seed they threw there 100 years
gare
ago.
me no ku de kapo so da rapi alo fa de ka
So if your children start with alcohol,
ne vi o te kula
with
hase
ordinary beer,
o te ku bi ya
by
ba
the time it grows to your age,
no si no pe wa
they will be mixing whiskey and
wala
shinap.
san bi whisky ku do shina pour la mélanger le tout
Joseph paid the price
Joseph tout fait
by abandoning his own plan,
ben ben to do da re
his own business,
e ba jo
to see to it that Jesus fulfill his
ko e
death.
ko be Yesu be so me ba me
So sometimes in training our children,
gare mo vi o pa kula me
we may have to let some things go in our own way
e na do le mi la tachi la to ni ba pa
and suffer
adwaya
for them to enjoy.
be wa no si
But if you refuse,
ne mi be
they will suffer and they will curse you.
ola duaya ola pufi do mi le ko do
We have been talking of becoming a transitional person.
e ye mi le popo le ko sta me ni ayi da nya me ke no
That whatever you don't conquer
ni san ke di o mo du
becomes a burden that your children will carry along with their own burden.
e la nya gba ke vi ola kokola so pe wa to ola gba me fe
The life of Solomon was easy
Salomon ba pe fa
because David fought all the battles his own age.
e la bo to dabi wa
So the man was born into enjoyment and peace of mind.
o di be ne ba ka ka me ti fa fa le ba se fina gbe
But Solomon did not do the same thing for his son.
Salomon mo won ne via o
When the son was born,
ke di via
the curse upon this Solomon himself
e fi po de ke no Salomon
that
via
God could not make to come to pass because of the father David.
ne 20 ye maintenant je ni be fa me le Salomon ba gbe mo wa
Jeroboam has to carry it.
e via ba so fifi
You will not be a burden to your children.
o manya gba ne fi wa mai ko so be
When you send a child to Harvard University
no don le yara Harvard University ya
or Cambridge,
alo Cambridge le
who do you think you will meet there?
me ko mo we la to ko le kemi o
The children of the elites.
And
those elites send their children to school to prepare them to take over their jobs. So they didn't just go there to learn. They have also gone there for relations. They will also marry there. So it is that standard of people that are going to marry. It's that standard of people they will do business with. So they can never be poor. It's not prophecy. The class of the people.
Yes, sir.
Talk well.
Yes, Daddy.
So when you send your children to the school here,
no, don't be school of here.
Children of mechanic.
Mechanic school,
that goes to school midday, evening school. Who will they also meet as they are going there? So who will they now marry? Did you not see why you have to send them to school that are better than the one you went to now? But that will require. He said, nobody sends me to any school now. Have I not even tried? That is why you are where you are. If they have sent you to better schools, you will have done God Father. So you want their life to end like your own? So when we say become a transitional person, we are not just saying doing Roborobo only. We are saying all the 7 spheres of wealth. Mental wealth, financial wealth, emotional wealth, spiritual wealth. Make up your mind to stand and say, from me down, their life must become better. If you give your children 5 billion and you die, you didn't teach him how to make money. You didn't tell him that money is exchange of value. You didn't tell him that wealth is created with ideas and tools. You have not transferred anything to the child. You have only transferred poverty to his life. Because like the prodigal son, he will finish he will start eating with pigs. Isaac is a child of a millionaire. Also the prodigal son. The 2 of them left home. But one left home with money. The other one left home with skill. You see what happened to Isaac? He got to the land. God said, plant here. But because he has seen the way the father dug well to irrigate and to give water to the animal that time, the Bible said Isaac dug the same well that his father Abraham dug. So which means he has learned the skill of how to produce wealth from his father. Even though when he was leaving the house, he didn't take anything long.
To Abraham bode ko kuna do de na chile do la so wusinu e ko to wegere do ka ke ba do te prayer de nebe do tututu e chawo e na ba kula de ko lawo do kala kanawa
until the Philistines, the people began to envy him.
Kaka mo ti to lo fun anuzo.
And yet he didn't take anything from the house. And yet he became everything he should become. By taking skill alone. You didn't see that is the same thing Joseph did. He taught Jesus carpentry. Even though he knew he has other mission, but before he will start that one, he must eat. So let me teach him how to feed himself. What are you teaching your children? What can they say they have learned from you? You must start teaching them now. No matter how great or how much you love them, how wealthy you are. Lastly, is that when he was doing all these things, he allowed Jesus and Mary to take all the credit. Why he hide himself at the back.
Et il t'a voulu, Joseph t'a voulu, il connaît quoi, mais ça a l'air de connaître quoi.